Hi, Giovanna Franklin here, International Homeopath. Today I want to talk about classical homeopathy and as opposed to everything else, and why I am not a classical homeopath. So when I started studying homeopathy and training as a homeopath, I spent 4 years studying at the school of Mission Orleans School of Homeopathy. And of course, the curriculum was quite extensive. And of course, we started with Hahnemann, the organon, and all the classics and all the greats. And then it expanded to the contemporary homeopaths and amazing homeopaths like Rajan Sankaran, Jeremy Fair, and people who have contributed so much with their work and with their books and practice to the expansion of homeopathy. And at the time, there was no sense, it never came up, this concept that there was a kind of divide between Hahnemann's teaching and Hahnemann's disciples, let's say students, and and the rest, what came afterwards. And I never even heard the word classic homeopathy or classical homeopathy. And then I started to practice, and I started to notice more and more that some homeopaths advertise and call themselves classical homeopaths, which is fine. And everybody has, of course, an individual style, an individual, um, yes, I would say, style of doing things that is intuitive homeopathy. Some people are more intuitive and rely more on their intuition. Some people rely more on the spiritual side of homeopathy, on the philosophical side of homeopathy. There is clinical homeopathy, and it's absolutely fine because we're all different and we all have different styles and different opinions. But I was never aware of this really big gap or divide between classical and everything else. And certainly, I was never aware that there was a judgment on it, on whether classical is better or something else is better. Then we're all different, and it's like any therapist. You can think about psychology in general, and you can pick 10 different practicing psychologists, and you will see that they're all different because we're all human and we all have our own personality, and you will choose the one that clicks with you, the one that you have some chemistry with, that you feel like you can understand each other, you can have a relationship, because the relationship between the healer, the therapist, and the patient is really, really important, and you have to feel comfortable with that. And that's all I will say about that. That's the whole criteria. However, some people will come to me and ask whether I am a classical homeopath, and that is very important because that will determine whether or not they will consider working with me or with another different homeopath. And I want to say that Hahnemann was not a dogmatic person. Hahnemann was a real scientist, and a real scientist is always searching. He's always looking for answers, and most of all, a real scientist is always looking for something better than the previous one. Why do you think we have 6 editions of the organon? And do you think we would have even more editions if Hahnemann had lived longer? Because every single time he would keep on tinkering, keep on researching, keep on uh, studying, and would come up with something that he thought was better than what he had come up the year before, for example. And the reason why I called this channel Evolutionary Homeopathy, the Academy of Evolutionary Homeopathy. This is really to emphasize the fact that nothing stays, nothing is static in the universe. And this is not me saying that, it's not even my choice. This is just one of the laws of the universe. This is how everything works. I can't remember which scientist, I think it was Le Corbusier, who said that in nature, nothing is created and nothing is destroyed, but everything is transformed. In other words, everything evolves because it has to, because that's just the way the world works. And homeopathy is not exempt from that. And it is only natural that homeopathy as a science, as a method, as a modality will have to evolve, will have influences from other modalities, and will be influenced by the times that we're living in, by the type of people who practice, and even the type of patients who will need different things. As a person, I am really not into dogma. And this is also part of the reason why I love homeopathy so much, because whenever somebody says this is settled, I just run away from that, because by definition, science is never settled, and we're always learning, we're always evolving, there's always something better out there, and we are striving to get to the better. If we know that everything is settled and there is nothing beyond what Hahnemann said 250 years ago, then I'm afraid I don't know if homeopathy is going to last very long with that kind of mindset, and with everything that all the discoveries and all the other things, the new things that we are that are available to us. And it would be a waste as well. That's my opinion. So I hope that's clear. I hope that explains. I just felt that I had to put it out there why I am not a classical homeopath. If you are a classical homeopath, or if you really feel comfortable only with classical homeopathy, that's absolutely fine. We are all different, and the whole point of this is to have a choice. So now you know what I do and what I think about this. If you want to contact me or put comments or subscribe or comment in any way or work with me, all my details are below in the comments. Thank you very much for listening. Have a good day.